to me the most important stats. 9 TDs, 1 interception. He has the second least reps, the second least attempts uh, behind Flacco. Flacco's had 35, he's had 53. But he's had the highest percentage. So he's 41 of 53 in his time. So he has the highest percentage, but the second least reps. Gabriel had 83 attempts in camp, and Pickett had 63. Okay, so they had 7 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns respectively. Flacco only had 2. Um, in the depth chart, they listed him as 4, the 4th QB in the depth chart, and he is starting Friday, having not had any real reps with the first team. So my question is to you two: is that normal for somebody that you do want to start in a preseason game? If so, if it's not if so, is that normal? And what is the long game right now for the Cleveland Cavaliers and what they're trying to do with Shedeur Sanders? Because I myself have no clue.
You want to go first, Easy, or should you want me to go?
I would like for you to go. I would like to hear your take on this first.
I don't even understand what's the confusion. Like you just said, he hasn't gotten that much reps. We all know that they have 4 QBs, so they're giving him an opportunity to get the most reps. It's not like he's going to go in there and play one series, and it's not like the starters are even going to play. Just because he's playing, that don't mean that he's going to be out there playing with the first team receivers, the first team running backs. The first team normally doesn't play in the first preseason game. He's going to be out there with the second unit and the backups that he's been normally playing with. You know what I'm saying? That's to give you the first part. And if you ask me they're giving him an opportunity. They're giving him some live action against live people to actually see what he can do. This is like the best thing that they're actually doing for him. We want to see you out there playing. We want to see what you really got. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception against your own people. All right, go out there, start the shit, lead it. You know what I'm saying? If he goes out there and goes 20 for 20 with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Like he's probably gonna get like a whole quarter worth of work against the Colts, right? It's the Colts they played against, right? Or is it Chargers?
No, it's Carolina Panthers.
The Panthers. So he's gonna get like a full quarter, maybe the entire half. We don't know how many reps he's gonna get, but I know he's gonna get a whole lot of reps. I know all 3 of us is gonna be watching, all his coaches is gonna be watching, and that's more than likely, pretty much guaranteed, it's gonna be the most heavily watched preseason game this whole weekend. Everybody's gonna be watching Shedeur.
So I'm sorry. So just can you answer the second part of this of the question, which you kind of made a statement. You said this is good for Shedeur. If he goes 20 for 20 with 3 TDs, that's my next question to you. So what position does that put the Browns in regards to the QB depth chart and where he may fall in regards to the long, like what position does that put the Browns in?
The Browns, they're in the position that they've been in ever since they drafted him inside the 5th round. They got 4 quarterbacks, and they're trying to figure out who's the best one to start for them. You know what I'm saying? They're one of only 3 teams in the NFL right now that's actually in a QB battle. You know what I'm saying? It's them, it's the Saints, and it's the Colts. Everybody else QB situation is clear-cut set. They're in a real QB battle. We all feel like Flacco ain't going to be the day 1 starter. They know what they got on Flacco. So it's either Pickett or these 2 young boys. But Gabriel is the 3rd round pick, and he ain't been doing too bad so far. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get some chances. It's like, don't be surprised if Shedeur gets a half and Gabriel gets a half. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. We ain't going to see no joke. We ain't going to see no Flacco. And you probably won't see Kenny Pickett at all either. You know what I'm saying? So this preseason is going to be.
I think Pickett's injured, right? Pickett has an injury, like because they just picked up Huntley because of QB injuries.
They had everybody was hurt. So Pickett was hurt. He came back. Shedeur had a sore arm. He sat out a few practices. He came back, but Gabriel had tightness in his hamstring. You know what I'm saying? So at one time they had like all three of them out. So it was like, oh, they only had two quarterbacks really getting, you know what I'm saying, reps. So that's why they brought in Huntley, because they needed him, because everybody sat out for a few days. But I think this is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see Shedeur Sanders and we're gonna see Dylan Gabriel go at it in the preseason.
Yeah, pretty much that was my take. Um, I'm not surprised because preseason, the first two usually, there used to be four preseason games. So now it's like the first preseason game is always going to be your third QB or your fourth QB. And everybody, all the niggas trying to make the roster before the cut and all that. So because it's only three preseason games, I'm not surprised that Shedeur, and I agree with Classic Ganjaman that Shedeur and Gabriel will split this game, and then Pickett and
Flacco.
Flacco will split another game, and then we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on. Go for the third game. That might be Flacco, but they'll have a decision to make after Friday. Shedeur hasn't really been playing with anybody. He's been throwing the trainers and all types of shit because he hasn't been getting no reps with the first and second team up until recently. So I mean with the second team, not the first team, but So I think this is just gonna be a show me what you can do. I'm gonna put you out there. They wanna they One of my takes is that they doing everything to put him out there to try to put him on some let's see if you could really back up all the shit you've been talking type shit. So it's like we're gonna throw you out there, even though you ain't got all the second team reps that you should have. We're gonna throw you out there and see what you can do. See if all of that training camp work was really amounting to something. And then they know what they got in Flacco. Flacco's gonna be the game one starter, I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? If healthy, I think Flacco's gonna be the game one starter. I think Pickett is just a throwaway. I just think he's there to make news. But I don't think Pickett will be the backup or the third string. I think he'll get outplayed thoroughly in the rest of the preseason and through all the rest of the training camp and all that. So for me, this game is just gonna see who's gonna be the backup in case Flacco go down. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Who's gonna be who's gonna work their way to the backup? Because you'll see, because whoever does best in this game will get the rest of the last preseason game. And that's how you know who'll be the backup. And that's what I'm expecting to see. We've seen everything we got to see out of Pickett. I think he's just there to cause a hoopla, to cause a circus. But I don't think he's warranted to be a backup or anything like that. It's going to be between Shedeur and Gabriel, and they're going to have to prove who deserves to be the backup, because I do believe Flacco will be the starting QB1 when the season starts.
So I have one last question. Well, two actually. The first thing is, it's a super given that we're not going to see any signs of Deshaun Watson. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And is that because of the injury? Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, he's rehabbing.
Okay, he's rehabbing. All right. The last question is there a possibility that he played because I do agree now that y'all guys explained it to me that he won't be playing with the first team anyway. This bodes well for his positioning because he has been playing with the other guys anyway, right? So he should look, this puts him in the best position to show what he actually can do. But if he plays extremely well, and they still are hell bent on not putting him in, whether it's a backup role or whatever. Do you think they will trade him to another team?
No. I think the only person who has trade value will be Kenny Pickett. I don't think you draft a quarterback. You got to remember now, these quarterbacks just got drafted. You don't know what you have, but you know you can play around with them for the next 5 years until you really got to pay them. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of having a quarterback on a rookie contract, especially when you got him on a rookie 5th-round contract, but you ain't paying him no bread. So imagine if he works out to be your starter and he's on such a small contract, you know what I'm saying? Where you could really add pieces around him and build the Super Bowl contending team. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't think they would trade Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. I think if anyone is likely to be traded, it will be a Kenny Pickett. But you never know. You never know.
I don't think there'll be a trade. I think Kenny Pickett might be released because you do still have Deshaun Watson's contract on that roster. So Kenny Pickett might be released. If it goes to the business side, they definitely not going to trade Shedeur Sanders. Like his jerseys sell out the roof, and he hasn't even seen a game yet. like this boy he's putting the way CGM says it. He puts asses in seats, and ain't nobody coming to see Flacco. They gonna come watch this nigga walk up and down the sidelines, see how he is. So you know what I mean? Like I don't think he's gonna be traded. Gabriel got the highest. He will have the highest value depending on how this preseason goes for him, because Gabriel's not putting asses in seats, but Shedeur is. And if as far as the money goes, it's like we can't do nothing with Deshaun. We got the veteran in Watson. We could keep Pickett for short. But Shedeur everybody's here to see that they're gonna be screaming this nigga name in a couple weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Gabriel will have the trade value because he's the young one. He's the one that you could like if you got one of those quarterback whisperer coaches or offensive coordinators, he could get traded to one of the whatever team that may be. I don't have one off the top of the head, but he could get traded to one of those teams. That's where I would see, but not this season. I don't see that this season. This is more like a Robert Griffith III and Kirk Cousins situation right now. So it won't be this season, but like he said, they on these contracts. So it's like we're gonna see what both of these niggas got, and whoever outworks who is gonna get that position, and then the third one's gonna bring us the trade value. Whoever loses this will be the trade value. You know what I mean? I just don't think Shedeur will be the trade value, period, because this nigga, he's bringing them bread. So,
well, speaking of that, which to me brings another question. He does bring bread, and he puts asses in seats. So if he outperforms everyone, it would be in the best interest to push him to the forefront. Correct? In other words, if Shedeur plays well, is it in the best interest of the Browns that he starts over Flacco?
Of course, we know that.
But you think they would do it?
It is, but the situation becomes this: you got to give him at least 4 weeks of playing with the first team. So Flacco got like 4 weeks, and then you know what I mean. Then that conversation should come up. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be screaming for the nigga the whole time. If there's any blowouts, if he wins this battle, if there's any blowouts, he gonna get them. He gonna get that backup rep. You know what I mean? He gonna get that garbage time.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's you got to give him 4 weeks to actually prep with the first team. So if Flacco start looking trash, you know what I mean? They're gonna be calling for Shedeur anyway.
Soon come.
So
okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well, that's it.